Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War, a game that is currently in early access and being developed by Oliver Keppelmuller. This is an American Civil War game that deals with both the strategic and tactical side of the Civil War, putting you in charge of raising armies, issuing policies, and overall fighting the American Civil War from either the side of the North or the South, while also giving you the option to fight tactical battles on the land when two armies meet. This is episode number 3 in our Let's Play series, and the war has just gotten underway. It is April 24th of 1861. We have fought one, I don't know if I'd call it a major battle, I guess. I mean, there were like 1,000 casualties all told, where we defeated the Confederate Army of the Potomac, which had about 4,000 soldiers at the time, with the newly mustering Northeastern Army of Virginia, or the Army of Northeastern Virginia under Irvin McDowell. We had about 10,000 troops in that battle. We fought near Alexandria and drove the Confederates back from the city of Alexandria. We have taken that critical city on the other side of the Potomac River, and so Washington is secure from Confederate threats at the moment. And with this success, the Confederate Army of the Potomac has been greatly reduced down to only about 2,800 men. We could continue pushing south, but I'm worried about what the rebels might have in store for us beyond our field of view. And we also only have a large percentage of our force for a few more days, maybe, or a few more weeks. Most of our troops here are 3-month troops who are their term of enlistment is up in about a month, which could be as early as May 1st. So I have started raising some new troops here. We're raising 2 brigades of troops in Runyon's division, 2 brigades of troops in Hunter's, and 2 brigades in Tyler's division. We're also raising 1 battery of artillery in each. Those batteries are consisting of 2 12-pound howitzer groups and 1 24-pound howitzer group. And then we've also raised a cavalry brigade in one of the divisions under Hunter. Now, all of these troops that are being raised are also 3-month troops. That's all I have access to right now. So I didn't want to raise too large a force because we don't get to keep these units very long until we unlock some new policies. And so for that reason, I've decided to keep my forces relatively small. If they get raised before these guys disband, then, you know, it'll give us a force of over 20,000 men. But if not, it'll keep us, I think I raised 1,500 man brigades. You can kind of choose the size of the unit. There's 3,000 men brigades and 1,500 men brigades. So that'll still give us about 3,000 men per division. When you include the cavalry and you also include the artillery, we'll have about the same number of troops, about 10,000. I'm also equipping them all with Springfield rifled muskets, so they'll have really good weapons to bring into battle. With that being said, the army at Alexandria is going to stay in position for a little bit longer while we raise those troops. It's going to take about 2 weeks for those boys to get into service. I've done the same thing for the Department of Pennsylvania under Major General Robert Patterson, a force of about 4,000 troops guarding the exit to the Shenandoah Valley. The Confederate troops in front of the Shenandoah were about 8,000 men last I checked, so I'm not quite in a rush to go engage them. So I have raised 2 brigades of infantry here, which will give us about, we raised about 3,000 infantry here, and then we'll have about 1,200 cavalry and a battery of artillery. So that is 1 fewer brigade of infantry, but it'll, at the end of the day, it'll give us not too much smaller a force. I guess I didn't realize these were 2 1,500-man brigades in each division, so it'll shrink our force a little bit. That kind of actually makes me think maybe we should advance just for the moment with Patterson and see if we can't force an engagement here. So let's move to Harper's Ferry across into the Shenandoah Valley and at least take the mouth of the Shenandoah to prevent any crossing of the Confederates there. Meanwhile, we have also moved troops under Major General George B. McClellan in the Department of the Ohio to Wheeling, Virginia, currently in the process of capturing that town. And I kind of made a mistake. I may need to move some of these troops north to take the Steubenville Bridge, because this is a very important rail bridge that links Pittsburgh with Ohio. Otherwise, goods and services have to, you know, move northwest. So maybe we'll move those troops back up in that direction, but really this is about securing Pittsburgh from any likely Confederate advance. Meanwhile, if we move further west, I have formed a new army in Ohio. It is going to take a little while for it to raise, but it is the Army of the Ohio under Don Carlos Buell. They are going to be based at Cincinnati, just north of the Ohio River, to keep an eye on Kentucky. Only 3,000 troops being raised here. Again, 2 1,500-man brigades. Don't want to go all in on raising huge armies until we've got at least 1-year terms on our troops. And but we do want something in case the Confederates do march into Kentucky, which is currently, I guess, Union, but parts of it are Confederate, and technically the state's neutral, so I'm assuming there's some sort of event that'll trigger if we move into the state. Meanwhile, I think the most likely place for the next major, quasi-major, battle to occur is Missouri, where there's about 2,000 troops, where's this? In Franklin, which I think is like the capital of Confederate Missouri, with about 2,100 troops and 6 guns. We have about 1,700 men under Nathaniel Lyons. It's actually the Army is under William Harney, but we have a brigade under Nathaniel Lyons at St. Louis, and we have another brigade under, or another army, the Army of the Mississippi under Major General Edward Baker, which is moving to St. Louis. We're going to merge these troops, so we have about 3,000 men to move south against the Missouri State Guard, so we can try to start securing the state of Missouri for the Union. Much of Missouri is in Confederate hands. You can see a lot of these different towns. It's going to take a while to sort of reoccupy them, but some places like Fredericton and the lead belt mines and out toward the Illinois border are still in Union control. And then also, I think, is this Illinois? Yeah. Is that Iowa? Jefferson City is Confederate out here to the west, but then you also have places like Georgetown, which are Union, so it's kind of split. That's the situation there. Do we have a force up here? Fort Kearny Garrison. And one other thing. So we are also raising a coastal expeditionary force. Again, just a small force because we only have 3-month troops. But we are going to be raising a coastal expeditionary army under Major General John Kenly. It'll be about 1,500 men. And their first mission, once they're raised, is going to be to move to Onondaga in this Virginia, technically. But basically, I want to take Drummondton and sort of this peninsula here east of the bulk of Virginia and put it under Union control to help us really close down the Chesapeake to the Confederates, because they did move a North Carolina sort of force north, and I think they're technically bombarding Fort Monroe right now. So we want to make sure that we don't let them do that. Okay, maybe we should also reinforce the Fort Monroe garrison. That's probably not a bad idea either. But again, I want longer serving troops to do some of that stuff. Do garrison troops, do their enlistments end? I don't know if they do. Why don't we take a look? Let's look at Monroe. So we do have a artillery battery here. No, they don't appear to run out. I mean, they've got a 99-month contract, so they're going to be there a while. But we could add troops to that garrison. So actually, all we have right now in the garrison is a 6-pound field gun unit. I want to go ahead and add a new unit there. I guess we do have some Virginian troops who want to join us, so we can go ahead and do that. Can we do like we could do another artillery battery, but let's give them some infantry. I don't know how like fortress artillery is modeled, if they just get free fortress artillery that they shoot or whatnot. But we only get 3 months on these troops. Damn. On all of them, huh? All right, well, just in case the Confederates decide to get antsy and do anything stupid, let's make it from a state we've got a little bit more in the way of troops. So I don't want to do it for a southern state. I guess we can do it for, I'm missing some troops here. There's like New York or something like that. Why do some states not seem to show up here? Oh, there it is. Because I can't see. All right, we'll do 1,500 New Yorkers there. In green pants and blue coats, I guess. So we'll raise those troops there. It's going to take a little while for them to get there, 22 days, but... and we could upgrade their weapons to, I guess... Do we want to give them crappy rifles or mixed muskets? They're going to be behind defensive entrenchments, so we'll just keep them with mixed muskets. It's really just sort of a deterrent factor here. And then I did also reform the flying squadron here, which had been destroyed by that North Carolina squadron. So we are assigning the USS Pensacola, the USS Constitution, good old Ironsides is in our fleet, and the USS Decatur and Anacostia. This is going to be our fleet that is going to move probably with the Coastal Expeditionary Army to shield them from any Confederate attacks here. Interestingly enough, 2 sunk there. Battle of the Chesapeake Bay. 10 ships, 6 ships, no ships sunk. So they got the better of us in that one battle, and the other battle we won, but they withdrew largely without any issues. All right, meanwhile, if we take a look at policies, I know some of you are saying like, hey, when you pick a new policy, it actually extends the length that the research is occurring, and I'm aware of that. But I was okay with it. So I'm okay with extending it if it means we get 2 kind of at the same time. So we're in the process of working on the Militia Act, which will open up 12-month troops to us. I really want to get to the 24-month troops so we can have like multiple years of campaigning, but we'll settle for 12 months to start raising more troops. We'll get that in about 37 days. So we're going to be looking at that in what, early June? I can't really do math. And then we're going to get the government funding in about 10 days, which will help us also building up more troops. Right now, our financial situation is not great. Current treasury and surplus is negative 34 million. And the current treasury is at 5.5 million. Our current credit rating is BB plus. So that's fallen quite a bit, been pretty volatile so far. So massive expenses, not a lot of revenue. National debt's 114 million. Unemployment is 10%. That seems high, although it still says the economy is expanding and wealth is developing. So those are good things there. With that being said, let's go ahead and unpause here and get started. So we're going to move at times 20 speed. You can see those orders are being issued for the forming of these different units. The Department of Pennsylvania, I think, is going to start marching, right? What is that? Destination? Oh, that's just the flying flotilla, because those ships are coming out of port. Are these guys not moving? Are you disobeying my orders? Feels like he's disobeying my orders. It says he's marching. Oh, he's moving very slowly. Okay. Okay. So I think the home flotilla did arrive off the Chesapeake here. Like, what do we want to do with the home flotilla? I'd love to go after the North Carolina guys, but I don't know that moving up into the Hatteras Inlet is a good idea. Guess we'll just move them into port at Fortress Monroe. Although in doing so, they've got to bombard their way through the Norfolk forts, which perhaps is not a smart thing for me to be doing. Oh, now they're returning to port. I guess we burned through all our ammo and provisions. All right, so let's go ahead and pause. Baker is at his objective. Which one is that? Is that the guy at St. Louis? Also, it's now May. So monthly economic report for April. We have a BB plus credit rating, which is poor. Our debt increased by 30 million. Currently, our liabilities amount to 114 million. The economic cycle is expansion. The wealth of our population is developing and decreasing. Ooh, that's bad. Tax revenues decreased by 41 million during the last month. 8 companies were founded. 2 farms, 2 foundries, 2 ironworks, 1 factory mill. Total export volume last month was 6.1 million, while 2.7 million was imported. Our economy lacks niter, wool, provisions. No overproduction of products is noted. Okay, that's not a great economic situation. Perhaps I'm building stuff too fast. So we're now into May of 1861. I think we did get our army to St. Louis now. We did. So can we... Army of the Mississippi. I just want to fold them into that other army. Can we do that? Yeah, can we transfer these guys? Army of the Mississippi. Gotta find the right unit here. Department of the West. So put Carlin under Harney. And then that leaves Baker without a force. Can we delete the Army of the Mississippi? I don't actually, it doesn't. I don't see an option to delete them. I really wish I could. Maybe they'll just go away. Probably not, though. That fleet didn't go away. I don't know. Although maybe it looks like the number dropped. So I think it may have gone away when it didn't have any troops, which would make sense, right? So we're down to just the Department of the West under Major General William Hardy. We are going to move on the Missouri State Guard located at or near Franklin, Missouri. So let's go ahead and march there and see if we can't force an engagement against an enemy foe that I think will outnumber, although it looks like we lost some of our troops, I think, too. Their enlistment's running out. Wait. Maybe I need to let this move a little bit so those units officially merge. U.S. Army abandons the Indian Territory. Confederacy captures the forts intact. Loyal tribes on the run. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. So that army disbanded, but where'd the brigade go? They just disbanded the whole brigade? That's not what I wanted to do. I don't think I added them to the wrong unit. Huh. Well, that's weird. Okay. Either way, I guess we'll march forward with the one brigade of ours and see if we can't defeat the Confederates outside of St. Louis. If not, we may need to raise some new troops. They've got, what, 2,100 troops, 2,200 troops. We've got 1,900. Also, it looks like those troops whose 3-month enlistments ended actually now say they have 2 months left. So it said they had 1 month remaining. Now it says they have 2 months remaining. This would make sense because they were raised in April. So maybe it was saying they've served 1 of 3 months rather than remaining. So then when this hits 3 and 3, then they disband? I don't know. That's kind of weird. But hey, whatever. This guy's super famous, legendary. Because he's won a battle. Everybody knows his name and deeds. The anti-actual historical McDowell, who was ridiculed. All right, so the rebels are bringing up reinforcements. It looks like the Army of the Shenandoah is 8,400 troops, and the 3,100 troops of the Army of the Potomac are moving to unify here, perhaps at Manassas. That's historical. But the Union Army is only at about 11,000. It's raising another 11,000, so it'll be at 22,000 in the near future. Meanwhile, Patterson is in the process of taking he has taken Harper's Ferry. So we'll go ahead and move south, take the armory there, and we're just going to slowly move Patterson down the valley, especially since it looks like Johnston's Army of the Shenandoah has abandoned that section or that area. Coastal Army, these guys are still raising, I believe. Yeah, we have one more day. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit more. All right, so someone is at their destination, Buell. That's fine. He's just moving to Cincinnati. The Expeditionary Army is fully raised, so let's go ahead and send them to Onondaga. Low readiness. Oh, I gotta let them get ready. Okay. Okay. Is Fort Monroe blockaded? Huh. The home squadron pulled back to replenish and reprovision. So they're doing that. By the way, one interesting thing with the game is that apparently the game will automatically pull ships and cycle ships on blockade duty in and out of the squadron just on its own as repairs and maintenance are needed. So I think that's a really cool feature that the game has. Okay, Department of Pennsylvania, those guys are moving. How's McClellan doing up here? Is he taking Wheeling yet? Man, it sure takes a long time to occupy Wheeling. It's up to 61%. Come on, Little Mac, do a more efficient job. Oh, your supply situation's bad. Well, you're gonna build a depot, right? Meanwhile, did this depot get built yet? No, 9 more days. Harper's Ferry Armory is now Union. Patterson's still in good supply, so let's move him down to Winchester. And once he gets to Winchester, if he takes that town, then we'll go ahead and build a depot there. We need depots to support our offensives. I guess if you're just hanging out here, you could build a depot also. So McClellan build a depot there. And then as we move to the west, this army's about to fight. We'll build a depot at Franklin once that battle occurs. Right now we're still at 100%. Still, I'm kind of annoyed with how that whole thing happened. Like, where did that damn army, the brigade go? It just disbanded and never warned me it was going to disband. But anyway. All right, so we'll move it times 20. These troops are on the move. Notice they stopped marching in the middle of the night. The Department of Ohio's supply situation is critical. Huh. Union credit rating improves. Tariffs on imports to increase. Economy preparing for war. All right, so we just, I believe, unlocked monetary policy or government funding. We did. What's the tariff act do? 7% slower due to 7% slower due to state support. Print notes. What does this do here? 21 days. Printing new money will bring short-term relief, but will result in inflation, lowering public wealth by 10%. Once the act's passed, the government will receive $50 million in newly printed money each year. The Tariff Act. This act will allow higher tariffs up to 50% to be imposed on foreign imports. It'll make imports more lucrative for the government, and at the same time, it will protect the nation's own industries because there will be less competing products on the market. Relations with European, -10. Piss Europeans off. Industrial policies allow the mass production of new and more complex weapons and ship types. Further subsidies will make heavy industry more profitable, increasing the supply of goods and encouraging further expansion. Industrial and transport subsidies. Okay. Where are we at right now? 12 days for the Militia Act. Let's appease the Europeans first with the breadbasket policy. So that'll be, oh shit, 57 days. I thought it was less than that. It's 27 days, but because we're stacking our research with the Militia Act, I guess we'll leave that in place for 12 more days. Hampton Roads is being blockaded. The rebels sent their fleet back up that way again. Or just because of where the troops are located. I don't see any Navy. Oh, there's a small squadron there, based out of Norfolk. Can I? Well, they probably can't draw supply. So we really need to take Norfolk. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. These troops still aren't ready. All right. Okay, let's keep moving the Department of the Pennsylvania, and I guess, or of Pennsylvania, and I guess we'll just see what happens when our troops in Missouri end up in a battle. So move forward times 20 speed, troops marching. I like how the troops stop at night and march during the day. I wonder if you do a forced march, if that changes a little bit. The Harper's Ferry Armory apparently is also a depot. Man, Patterson's a slow marcher. Also, Harney's at his destination. It looked like the rebels were withdrawing to our front. There was some pursuit damage being inflicted on them, maybe? Yeah, they've withdrawn. which is funny because they've got more troops than we do. We took 120 casualties in minor skirmishing. They took 161. But we also captured their armory, or their depot, sorry. So our troop supply situation is boosted by that. We can pursue them, I suppose. I guess the question is, what's all Union and what's all Confederate here? A lot of this stuff around here is all Union. Jefferson City's Union, Franklin's Union now. Rolla's Union. Did they just surrender that whole part of the state now that we drove them off? Still some Confederate towns in the south. Well, keep pursuing, boys. Maybe we'll drive south and engage them somewhere near Lebanon. Meanwhile, how's our river squadron doing here? They are up to 18% complete, so still I think a couple months left before they're ready. So Price is withdrawing. The enemy Missouri State Guard seemed to have withdrawn and is obviously trying to regroup. Okay. Well, maybe they've got like really bad troops or supply or something, and they didn't want to fight me. I wouldn't want to fight me. After all, I've got the nickname the Butcher, right? Who wants to fight someone like that? The Savannah Squadron. What are you guys doing? 2 ships. I feel like the Navy is gonna turn. The Navy is gonna turn into whack-a-mole. All right, let's go try and engage these guys with this fleet. My problem is I've got a lot of sailing ships. I'm assuming most of these Confederates are like small, lightly armed, you know, dinky ships that can't easily be caught and chased down. I really should build squadrons with just like steamships. Meanwhile, the squadron I'm sending down here has the USS Constitution, so good old Ironsides. Oh, we're going to engage the Savannah Squadron here? Where the hell are they going? Trying to go up the Potomac? What's up with those guys wanting to go try and bombard Washington? Go have your revenge, sir. Alright, do we sink any of them? Another battle of the Chesapeake. The enemy fleet is believed to be intact. The condition of my fleet is good. So we won another victory, but I don't think we sank any enemy ships. A remarkable strategic victory. That seems like an overstatement. Yeah, we didn't sink anything. So good for you, I guess. Really should station a squadron here in the Chesapeake to block anyone coming in. Norfolk just makes the whole situation more difficult. All right. So, how's the Department of Pennsylvania going here? They're in the process of taking Winchester. I never ordered you to go that direction. Okay. Have we taken Wheeling yet? Almost. McClellan, you're so goddamn slow. Also, build that damn supply depot. You should at least be fast at building supply depots, right? Wait, they took the Harper's Ferry Armory in our rear? How'd they do that? I'm confused. All right, so we retook Winchester, but somehow the Confederacy got Harper's Ferry back. I didn't see any troops march that way. Maybe I never actually took it. Maybe I just took the bridge. Alright, so Wheeling is ours, right? Yep. Alright, we've also taken the Steubenville Bridge, so good for you boys. McClellan, you're gonna wait there. You've got a lot of disabled and sort of recruiting troops. So you're gonna wait there till that depot finishes construction. 30 days. Jeez Louise, that's a McClellan thing. We took a town, we didn't fight a battle, and now we need to wait and regroup. Hashtag McClellan. All right, move down here to Rolla. Go take that town. I probably shouldn't have St. Louis ungarrisoned. They could march around our northern flank and do something bad. So let's go ahead and raise a garrison for St. Louis. Is there, so if I get a, how does one raise a garrison? Military. Recruit new army, but I don't see an option to raise a garrison. I would love to just raise a garrison. Do we have any Missouri troops that I can just use? No? Nobody in Missouri wants to fight for the cause. Okay, well. I guess we do Illinois again. It's gonna be the same general as before. Give them Springfields. All right, so they're gonna take a while to raise. Are they at Quincy again? No. We're gonna send them down to St. Louis. Send it via sea, via the river. Maybe the issue is before I used sea movement rather than river. Department of Ohio, where are they invading? They're not invading anywhere. Their area of influence may converge on Covington, Kentucky, but they're not actually invading Kentucky. Looks like our credit rating improved slightly. Cash situation, not so much. Rebel finances don't look great either. 4 days for that militia act. And remember, I'm auto-managing the economy. British declare neutrality. The Royal Navy is to avoid American ports. Any blockades to be monitored by Admiral Milne. The Admiralty to reinforce Milne. 4,300 regular troops in Canada. Okay, so right now the British are still staying out of it. So it does say Harper's Ferry's Union now. Okay, well, I guess we move down south now, Patterson. And I think what we do is we move these guys to try and flank. All right, they're issuing letters of marque, so there could be some privateers or piracy going on. But I think what we do here is we will move the Department of the Pennsylvania south. And so we've got depots at Harper's Ferry. Winchester Manufacturers are ours. South Branch Bridge is ours to the west. All right, so 12-month contracts. All right, so we now have 12-month contracts as an option. How is this lumber mill union? Some of the possession rules are weird. How are the new troops coming here? Did we get them all raised? Oh shit. Does this say 22,000 of our troops are disabled? Okay, it says 1 day till last transfer. I don't know what that means. Oh boy. The Department of the West is in contact with the Missouri State Guard. What are your orders? Let's play this battle. We've only got one brigade. They've got maybe two, and they've also got 6 guns. So we are outnumbered here, boys, but we'll see if we can hold. Major General Harney. Major General Price commands 2,500 men. Okay, so we on the defensive this time, or no, we're on the offensive. Okay. Scouts report the enemy's near Rolla, Missouri, and our army is prepared for battle. We're facing the Missouri State Guard under the command of Sterling Price with a strength of some 3,000 men. The enemy army is green and morale is reported to be confident. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding, but so is ours. Okay. So our troops are here. We've got the 1 brigade. Oh, I hate the rotating map. Now the question is, where are the bleeding rebels? Like, I got no intelligence. Where are these guys? I got 1 brigade. I'm just gonna march around the map. Lions Brigade. What weapons do they have? Springfield. Okay, at least they've got good weapons. Okay, so I guess we just march to wherever and hope we find them. Could really use some cavalry, huh? All right, we'll do times 10 speed. Okay, so I don't know if like they beat us automatically if this victory point thing rolls up. You can see the majority of the map is rebel controlled from a victory point perspective. So we're moving down this road. I'm going to try and just, I guess, swing north along the old plank road. Maybe that's where the rebels will be. Or no, I guess they get 1 victory point. I'm guessing each time that bar fills up, they get a victory point. Okay, well, let's see what we've got in store for us here. Let's move up this road. I guess I could have broken the brigade up and sent some skirmishers out to try and find the rebels a little bit more quickly. That might have been the smart thing to do. Watch them be like down on the southern corner of the map. I just waste all my time marching all over. I just want to fight the bastards. So they're obviously not up this way. Not yet anyway. Darkness has fallen. Troops resupplied. Day 2 of the battle. What battle, sir? We're just marching. It's kind of like Second Manassas. By the way, there's no battle music, which is interesting. It's just silence. We can zoom in and hear the troops marching, I guess, but... They're totally on the southern part of the map, aren't they? God damn it. It's going to take us like 3 days to get there. It's going to be a 3-day battle for nothing, I guess. I don't want to just stop marching, though, so we'll get these guys going to the west. Although it's only 6 o'clock, so we're marching pretty quick across this map. It must have started later in the day for the first day. I didn't see what time it was. What? Why did you stop marching? All right, I'm going to jump ahead, guys, to see when I find, come into contact with the enemy, because I'm sure this isn't the most exciting thing to watch. So let's go ahead and jump ahead a little bit, and I will pull this back up once we get there. All right, boys, we found them. Finally, after 3 hours of marching, we found the enemies near Log Cabin Lane. So there appear to be 4 enemy brigades, although admittedly smaller brigades. They're called divisions, but 4 enemy brigades appear to be located here. So let's actually issue orders for these guys to halt, because I had them marching way far to the south. They're pretty much already in range with the Rebs, although I don't know what guns the Rebs have. They may not have Springfield, so their range might be shorter. Could give us an advantage. Let's go ahead and go to normal speed. How long is the order going to take to get there? I just want them to halt. All right, there we go. So let's turn and engage them, boys. They've got some artillery down here. I don't like my odds, especially with multiple enemy brigades. The enemy's coming up. I'm kind of in the open. I don't have a great position to defend here. I don't have a wall or anything. Some of these Rebs are behind a fence, but they're a little ways out. Well, let's see what we can do. 1,500 or almost 2,000 muskets versus, 600 and 600. We might be able to defeat them in detail. We've been marching all day, though. Now, you can see the situation down here. This is my troops' first battle, so they have a negative trait for that. They've got a star, and they've got an attached, which I'm guessing means, like... Oh, it doesn't... First battle. Commander. Commander is nearby to motivate the men. Supported. One flank is protected by friendly... Well, there's not really supported by friendly units, but hey, whatever floats your boat. The first volley just got shot off there. Line is in contact. Yes, he is. The Missouri Brigade, 0 casualties suffered so far. That first volley did what to the enemy? 38 casualties to McGribble's division. Clark's division suffered 13. So we are firing volley fire into the enemy. It looks like they must have mixed muskets, though, because they are outranged by us, or at least they're not shooting back. You would kind of expect them to close the distance when they've got the numerical advantage. But I'm okay if they don't do that. I'm just going to keep firing volleys off. Meanwhile, we did lose some casualties here, or take some casualties to the State Guard artillery. But no reason to close the distance here. We'll just cheese this to a victory if we have to. Ammunition might actually end up being an issue for the first time in any battle for me, however. You can see these volleys are doing pretty... I mean, McBride's division has already suffered a 1/6 of their unit as casualties. What's this down here? Under artillery fire. Okay, well. We fired off 4 rounds of our 60 rounds of ammunition here. And the Rebs are just taking it. They're just standing there and taking the damage. All right, well, I'll gladly defeat you in detail if you're going to let me do that. Let's go ahead and accelerate. This may be a boring battle. Come on, AI, do something. Don't be dumb. The AI is going to be dumb, isn't it? Well, 1 brigade broken. A fire on the next brigade. We are taking a few casualties from artillery fire, but I can't imagine it's anything that's going to bother us all that much. 18 casualties. Meanwhile, our Springfields are just ripping them apart. Good old volley fire here at ×5 speed. Huh. Oh man, this is really disappointing. The AI is not doing anything to try and close the gap to engage me or anything like that. The artillery... Where are my troops going? I didn't order them to do that. Huh. How would you guys go fight these guys? No, I don't want you to move that way. So these guys are retreating. Looks like the Rebs are running. So we are going to take some volleys from Parsons' division as they withdraw. And the enemy artillery is pulling back. So we split the enemy army in 2. We broke 2 of their 4 brigades. We are taking a few casualties now, however, as we pursue this enemy brigade. We'll get a good volley into their rear, however. You can see we're going to shred them pretty good, I think. Yeah, they're routed. Now they're running. The enemy is retreating, so we only have a little while where the enemy will allow us to, pursue. But we did defeat them. Kind of embarrassingly, but we did. We didn't even engage Slack's division of 600 troops of the Missouri State Guard. It's a very disappointing result. I'm not going to lie. Map control's too fast. I need to slow it down. We're firing volleys into the rear of this State Guard artillery now. So we're going to lose about 10% of our force to casualties, but I mean, nothing like what the enemy's losing. We didn't even take the objective. It didn't even matter. Very disappointing result there. Come on, AI. You should know, like, hey, there's one enemy unit and we've got a bunch more than them and their flank is exposed and we're not in range, so let's maneuver to get into range. Don't just let me pick you off at range and obliterate you. They must have had mixed muskets, though. So that's going to be the end of the pursuit phase. Rebel army broken. We ended up firing 15 rounds of ammunition. Your army is victorious. We lost 162 casualties. The enemy lost 750 of their 280 infantry. They also lost all 10 of their guns and 50 men there. Or I guess 10 of 10? They didn't have 10 guns, did they? Anyway. Victory for us there. A disappointing victory. But I'll take it. I mean, disappointing in the sense that the game really let me down. But hey, good job, Nathaniel Lyons. You're now a hero. Narrow victory at Rolla. All right, actually, let's go back and take a look at what that battlefield report is. His Excellency the President. The Battle of Rolla has ended with Missouri State Guard retreating in panic. My command has earned us a total victory with the enemy army running for their lives. The enemy has reportedly suffered a total of 799 men, thereof 122 killed, 0 captured. The morale is believed to be nervous. Our casualties total 162 men with 32 killed, 34 missing, and the rest wounded. Morale is determined with the supply situation critical. We've captured 264 rifles and 2 guns from the battlefield. What rifles? They weren't shooting at me with rifles, I don't think. Meanwhile, our supply situation is down to 83%. We have no depots currently. That's weird. There's a depot right there. Maybe once we get to Rolla, we'll be able to pull that depot down from St. Louis. I don't really know what how the range of the depots work. Okay, so you've got 60 pieces of artillery, or 200 artillery ammunition, 400 forage, 500 horses, 500 provisions, 500 small arms ammo. Okay. The supply and logistics side of this are really cool. Just the AI just sucks. At least so far. I've had some people tell me it is better than it was before, but so far this battle anyway, not impressive. They had a numerical advantage. They had, you know, everything going for them there. One unit, they had artillery, we didn't. The only thing against them was the fact that we had rifles, I guess, and they must have had a shorter range weapon, but you'd think that you would try to close the distance. Right, Price is withdrawing. What's our supply situation now? 100%. So we have resupplied from this depot. And Price is withdrawing. Did that change the supply situation at the depot? Well, it looks like it's all still the same. Good job, General Harney. Let's pursue to Lebanon. Meanwhile, what's our financial situation is still terrible. Terrible. Why did the Department of the Ohio withdraw? Where are they going? What are you doing, McClellan? Go fight those guys. They're gonna go retake Wheeling. Are you withdrawing because your supply situation was bad, maybe? I'm not sure, but I want you to go back to Wheeling. You built a depot there, didn't you? You never finished constructing it, I guess? All right. Well, I think we're going to fight another major battle at in Virginia here soon. Looks like the enemy's raised new troops. The Army of the Potomac's up to 4,400 men. The Army of the Shenandoah's at 13,000, so that'll give them about 17,000 troops. Meanwhile, McDowell's forces that I've raised are now at full strength, so we're up to 24,000 men with 45 guns. So I'd say we're about ready to engage the enemy. Now, these two armies are not united yet. They may be close enough to lend support, so we may have a big battle of 24,000 versus 17, which could be like Bull Run. It's basically going to be at Bull Run. Or maybe not. I guess we'll see. We could also have Patterson try and swing east. It looks like he still has a lot of his troops are being raised. They won't be ready for another 21 days. So probably won't be ready in time. But I think what we've got with McDowell will be enough to have a nice big looking battle in our next video. This wasn't the most exciting video, but I hope you guys did enjoy it. I know I enjoyed playing it. Again, the AI was a little disappointing, admittedly. I'm going to send these guys down the peninsula down here. You know, we'll see if they do better in future battles. Like maybe it was just some quirk of something that'll get ironed out in early access. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. And as always, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching this episode of Grand Tactician, the American Civil War, an early access Civil War strategy and tactical war game that should be coming out of early access soon. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out.